half hour, the Buffalo VA has recently been under fire since the healthcare system director and chief of staff were immediately transferred out of their jobs, according to the hospital.
Since then, local, state, and federal leaders are calling for an immediate investigation into the care there, including Congressman Nick Langworthy, who joins us now. Nick, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for this. We had your Democratic counterpart, Tim Kennedy, on last week asking about this very topic. It is one in a bipartisan fashion. Both you and he have really come out strong against, because it seems like the fallacies there, the lack of care, or at least something is going on, it's egregious enough that the two top men in that hospital have been replaced. So what is the current status?
Well, it was very abrupt. I mean, it came to our attention that there was discrepancies in the referrals in the oncology department at the Veterans Hospital. It's unacceptable by any metric. I immediately fired off a letter to the VA calling for a full investigation, and within 2 hours they had relieved the president and his chief of staff of duties. And I think that's rightfully so while this investigation goes on. 2 days later, I went and toured the hospital and sat with the interim director, who comes in from another end of my district in the Finger Lakes VA region, someone with Buffalo roots. He understands our community, he understands the mission of the Buffalo VA, and they are clearing through any sort of backlogs that exist there. This is a referral issue. It doesn't appear as though we have a resources issue here. This is more, there's a department that was not functioning properly, but the accountability has to be at the top. And how did this happen? And how can we ensure that it never happens again?
I guess the other thing, too, is we hear from veterans as a news station, I'm sure other news stations hear the same thing, complaints about these very topics. What are we supposed to say to them, or what do you as a congressman say to them? Because maybe they got sicker, or maybe something happened with their care, or maybe they're just frustrated.
And that's the deep concern about oncology in particular. One example that I heard was that a lung cancer diagnosis took place from screening at the VA. It took 10 weeks to get an appointment at Roswell. You can go from stage 1 to stage 4 in that time. That is unacceptable. And that is one example. There are between 3 and 4 dozen cases here, and one is too many. And it can't happen again. You're never going to have a 100% approval rating as a medical institution, because there's going to be people that get sick, they get sicker, and perhaps pass away. But we hear wonderful things about the VA and the care that our veterans receive there. I believe I met many employees, I met patients on my tour that are delighted with the services they receive. I think that it's important that we don't vilify the entire Buffalo VA hospital because this department of scheduling had these delays. I think this is critically important to recognize. I mean, we have fully funded the VA above and beyond President Biden's request in the last 2 fiscal years. We just did it again for fiscal year 2025, awaiting the Senate to carry out the same mission here this year. But by all accounts, from talking to the interim leadership, talking to the undersecretary of the Veterans Affairs Department, this is not a resources issue. This is a performance issue, and we need to get to the bottom of it. The people responsible for it need to be held accountable, and we need to move forward.
And it certainly is a story we will continue following. There are a number of topics to talk about. If we can maybe speak on some national news. Of course, another school shooting, this one in Georgia. What do you make of the situation today?
Well, we're still waiting for information at the time we sit down here. There's a press conference pending as to who the perpetrator is. I mean, there's reports out there, but I don't want to speculate on facts that haven't been delivered by law enforcement. Obviously, this is a terrible tragedy, and we have at least 4 dead at this point. I believe 9 were rushed to area hospitals, and you know, we have a mental health crisis in this country. We have to get to the bottom of why it is that people, and particularly we're seeing young people, are trying to commit murders, trying to bring harm onto others. I mean, I think we have a mental health crisis in this country that no level of government's been serious about. And we need to learn more of the facts here, but this is a senseless tragedy.
Get emotional with you for just a quick second here. I mean, Nick and I, we have children in schools. I've got children in high school now. Nick, you've got children in elementary. Don't you get sick of hearing about these things, especially because we've got children in school, and you don't even need to have children in school to be sick about them? The other thing I get sick about, and I know it is the reality and something that we need, because I'd rather they be ready and I'd rather their staff be ready, but these drills that we do every quarter, lockdown drills and all, that's got to have, you talk about mental health, That's got to have a mental health aspect or some kind of an impact on your daughter and on my 2 daughters. It has to. It can't not. There has to be something more to be done.
It's chilling, and you balance. Do you send your children to a place that they feel like is a fortress, where they walk through metal detectors every day, and what sort of mental health component comes with that? But we have to harden the target here. We have to harden the target, and I think that. We've had far too many of these to not take that more seriously. I talk to local law enforcement throughout my district about these circumstances. I think the school resource officers do an incredible job throughout our district on keeping the schools safe. Many of the sheriff's departments have cars outside every day, and that does have a chilling effect on anyone that seeks to do harm.
Hopefully.
We are out of time, but I want to ask just one last quick question. You've been doing a lot of funding moves lately in recent news, recently in Jamestown as well. What is the biggest news there?
Well, the biggest news, we received a grant that will help with some of the mental health and homelessness crisis that they're facing there, and we're happy that some of those funds are going to be invested there. I mean, I've stood strong with Mayor Kim Eklund as she has tried to, crack down on some of the encampments that have taken place on the riverfront, which that is no place for that sort of encampment. But we also need to make sure that the resources are in place, which we have very generous resource programs throughout the state of New York. We are a very generous state in that regard. But this will help Jamestown move ahead in that regard.
They need so many critical resources, so I'm sure that they were elated to see that money coming from the federal government. Republican Congressman Nick Langworthy, we always appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.